Hey guys, we're here with my boy John, who finished first place at Toronto Regionals with Maliss, Fiendsmith. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this deck and this version of the deck in the format?
I just absolutely love playing Maliss as a very combo heavy deck. Going into this event, I thought about playing Bystial because I was just very much concerned about Lancia, and then I saw Pack and Tripp's deck profile on Fiendsmith Bystial Maliss, and it inspired me to try it out. And I almost played Pure at the last second, but just seeing it produce so many good results, I decided, you know what, let's just give this one more chance. And it paid off very much.
Well, let's get right to the list then.
All right, so to start off, you have the straddles of the deck, 3 Dormouse, and then only 1 White Rabbit and 1 Chessy Cat. Reason being is because we are not playing TB11 here, so White Rabbit is no longer a starter, and we want to just minimize the number of normal summons we have in this deck. Going on to the extenders, we have a 3 Field Spell and 1 Gold Stark. I opted not to play Terraforming because I just wanted to respect Troll. Spoiler, I am playing Lubellion and there are engravers, so I did not want to run into any awkward situations this tournament. The traps, GWC, best card ever, MTP, also very solid. I typically side this out going second. I think there was once where I missed it in the go second situation, but it is what it is. Moving on to the next part, the Bystials, 3 Lubellion, 1 Magna, 1 Druis, 1 Baldric. Lubellion was okay. Oh, of course, Regained. Lubellion overall was a solid card, but I felt like it and Regain were kind of a win more situation, but drawing to more hand traps, I can't complain about it. And onto the actual MVP. So I want to give a shout out to Nick and Aiden from my local scene. When I thought about playing Fiendsmith in this deck, I did not have the cards, so I was like, let me just ask, maybe someone will be willing to lend it to me. And to my pleasant surprise, they responded, and I have all the cards, and quite frankly, I don't think I could have won this regional without the Fiendsmith package. Engraver is very good just because it's also a way, just with the Fiendsmith package, it's a way to break through Chaos Hunter, which has been the card that has maybe far more frustrated than even Artifact Lancia. And the bricks, Lacrima, the Lurie, I drew this way too many times. 2 track, I almost decided to play 3 track, but in testing I was noticing that I wasn't seeing my mouse cards as often as I like, so I figured I had to keep this deck as close to 40 as possible. So I opted to just play 41 cards and only 2 track instead of 3. I drew this a bit more than I like, but thankfully I do play A-Bow, so there's always a way to pitch this paradise. On to the non-engine, 3 Ash. I think you have to play 3 Ash right now. It stops the Chummies, it beats Mellotronus, just stopping various starters in general. Just this card is just way too good. 3 Imperm, very solid hand trap. Now, I decided to main Furos, and it was a last-minute decision. Originally, last night when I was still working on the deck, I had this in the side deck, but I figured, like, as I was on my way going to regionals, I figured, you know what, I think this card covers both Bystial and Maliss, and if I decide to main Droll, like play 3 Droll over this, then I'm not going to be covered for the Maliss matchup. And I really wanted to play Droll somewhere in the main deck, so here you are, 2 Drolls. And I wanted to play 3, but I really want to keep that deck size down to 41. So the last minute decision I did was I cut down my Veiler down from 3 to 2 and put Talons. I originally was main decking it. I put Talons to the side deck and put in 2 Droll. And finally 2 Nib. Nib was okay. It wasn't really the MVP today, but it's a card that I don't dislike having. Now onto the extra deck. Link Decoder, nothing much to say about it. For Link 2s, we have Hagar Lizardos, SP, IP, and Dark. I guess I think these 2 are mandatory, and these 2 are somewhat debatable, but sometimes, like, because I'm playing the Fiendsmith variant, sometimes I'm like link locked. I'm able to just make the IP, and if I have GWC as well as Lacrima and Requiem Engrave. That's an easy setup for a quick SP level 9 just for additional interruption. Dark, I used to, when I first started playing Maliss, I didn't play Dark, but I just figured I really wanted to respect the mirror match. And in theory, if I just have the Fiendsmith engine, I could just go make Necroquip, Engraver, make Dark, either like steal a Maliss monster, or in some cases where I don't see names at all, like crash into a card. That unfortunately did not occur. I only summoned it once this regional, but it actually counted because I got Nib. So I was able to use a body, was it Necroquip? I can't remember. It was a Dark, and the token to make Dark and steal something, and then so it was not Necroquip. And then I was able to just go into Moon because Moon unfortunately requires 2 effect monsters. I can't use a Nib token for that. Now, Maliss names. I think Hard Scripter was an absolute boss this tournament. I tried playing without her and tried playing Typhon instead. I lost games because of that. Red Ransom, honestly, I've summoned this a lot more often than I initially thought. I really like summoning this like before White Binder, just because so I can just have the field spell and just find a way to make Espial Knight banish this, get Chessy Cat out of the deck, and then just draw 2 cards before I can refer into White Binder. And in any event, usually White Rabbit always successfully resolved for me, so I already have GWC set, so I feel very safe and confident going to this first. Link Force, Abao, Access Code. Abao was absolutely amazing, especially in the Fiendsmith deck. This is mandatory. Access Code, I've heard some debates on this, but just having this as the option to like just go for a game, just pop some cards, I think I would still play this still over Typhon. And last but not least, the Fiendsmith package. The only iffy card was Necroquip, and I honestly considered not playing this and playing a Chaos Angel instead, or Typhon, but everyone, all the deck profiles I saw, not all of them played it. There was no exception whatsoever, so I was like, maybe there's something that I didn't realize. And sure enough, I think there was one duel where I think it drew like 3 cards with Necroquip, just playing like slow Bystial Fiendsmith control. So it did pay off. There was maybe one instance where I wish I had Typhon, but I think even if I did have it, I would have lost that duel anyways. Onto the side deck. I do play a Thrust package because sometimes I still lose to Lancia, sadly, if I don't see my Fiendsmith cards. So 3 Thrust, 1 Talents, 1 Deep Barrier, and 1 Sanctum. Deep Barrier won me a very clutch match when I got against Ryziel when I got Lancia, and then when I tried to go in the Fiendsmith combo, he ashed it, and so I figured, you know what, set Deep Barrier pass, let's pray. Sure enough, it paid off. And this, just for the mouse mirror, came up as well. And finally, a Duster. This was also one of my last minute additions to the deck, and I absolutely am glad that I had it because this is what, like, this beats just back row in general. It's like, I think it was against a Maliss player who kind of like bricked after I impermed his Dormouse, so he just set 2 to 3 back row and passed and just dustered, clean the board, and just that was pretty much game. I also play against 2 Odeon decks, and I'm very glad I had this somewhere in my side deck. There's not much to be said about this. I hate this card. I hope it gets banned, but I know that's just me being entirely unrealistic. And finally, I also consider Pure Malice actually one of my worst matchups in testing, so I wanted to give more respect beyond just the 3 Lancia, so I decided to play 3 Meows. Did not come up. I never drew them against the Malice players. The only time I ever used this card was like for a normal summon. And finally, 2 Perulia for Ryziel. I felt more confident to Ryziel than Malice, so I decided, you know what, let's just play 2 Perulia. It's fine.
Awesome. Well, congrats again on the win. Really proud of you after all this time knowing you. Any shout-outs?
And so in addition to Nick and Aiden, I also want to give a shout out to Greg for giving me this Artifact Sanctum when I was trying to find one everywhere and couldn't find a copy. I also want to give a shout outs to the Toronto local scene, to everyone at Go For Game, Face to Face, 401. It's just been an absolute pleasure. And I think I couldn't have like made it here without like everyone just being like so enthusiastic players to play against at locals. And But once again, one final time, absolute huge shout out to Nick and Aiden for lending me the Fiendsmith package, and also shout out to Pack and Triff for inspiring me to play this deck.
Awesome, thank you.